This is the third and final video to my Blue Jay drama series. To see the previous two and be caught up or refreshed on what's been going on, I will link them up in the right hand corner now. When I last left off, I didn't know if Feisty Jay had found a new mate or not. I knew one particular female was hanging around him quite a bit, but so were others. I hadn't seen him offering her any food or nest material, which would have confirmed for me that he had chosen his female. So what happened? Just days after, I did in fact see Feisty Jay giving this little female a food offering. Now I knew for sure she was his new mate. I watched them for the next few weeks. Hermoso seemed to be a little more at ease around Feisty Jay. He kept his focus on Abby, giving her plenty of food offerings, something Hermoso is quite good at. Both of their mates started nesting at the same time, around the 12th of May, and were the first of my jays to do so. The boys now had time to themselves to hide peanuts away and hang out with other jays. After a long winter, seeing the robins and sparrows was a welcome sight, which seemed to confirm that spring was finally here, but that would change quickly. On May 24th, I woke up to snow. I couldn't believe it. I don't think the jays were impressed with it either. I asked Feisty Jay what he thought of it all, and his response couldn't have been more spot on.
What do you think of it all, Feisty Jay? All the snow. Yeah.
I worried about the female birds that were nesting though, and unfortunately Abby was off the nest, and I would see her and Hermoso the next week until she tried nesting again. So their first attempt failed. Feisty Jay and his new female seemed to be okay though. Spring was unusually cold, which seems to be a trend the last few years. But this year in particular was a long cold one. I even had several yellow-rumped warblers take advantage of my suet feeder, which I have never seen in the last 7 years of birding. In fact, I've always wished they would visit my feeder. If I had have known that getting my wish come true meant a long cold spring, I would have passed. Over the coming days, plenty of rain fixed the snow. This was more like it. Not really warm, but comfortable temperatures, which I'm more than okay with. With all the snow gone, Hermoso could finally enjoy a nice bath. And a drink. Spring is the most beautiful time of year. It's a rebirth and everyone seems so free and happy. It was no trouble to tell when Feisty Jay had nestlings because he was more busy with hunting and could care less about me and my peanuts. I saw him pluck a tubular from a pitcher plant and root around in it. He checked out the others too. He's looking for insects. Feisty Jay is the second bird I've seen do this in the last 7 years I've been birding. Sweetgirl was the other one. That was last year. It's pretty clever. I hoped to get to meet Feisty Jay's babies, but I never did. They successfully fledged though, because I heard them feeding them one day, but couldn't get a glimpse of them. By this time I was consumed with Blue and Sweetgirl's fledglings. They were the first ones I got to see, so I put my time into them rather than trying to know all the other birds. And I'm always busy working on things, so I just can't be out there all of the time like I used to. Blue and Sweetgirl allowed me to meet their fledglings with ease, so I stuck with them. Hermoso and Abby's fledged sometime in the middle of July, but I didn't get to meet them either, only got short glimpses of them. They seemed to have 2 for sure, possibly 3. By the time their babies fledged, they both started molting. With blue jays, they lose all of their head feathers at once, resulting in a vulture look. Other bird species do this too, such as cardinals. It isn't understood why some birds molt all of their head feathers. Feisty Jay was the first of all of my jays to molt, and managed to keep one little strip of feathers the entire time. His little female began molting shortly after. For Feisty's mate, it's her first full molt, because she was only born last year and juveniles don't get a full molt until the next year. With the babies raised up, Hermoso can now focus on keeping Abby as his mate. Hermoso seems to be improvising with the offerings these days. Here he picks her a piece of grass. Abby's reaction says it all. Hermoso's going to have to do better than that. By late summer, almost all of the jays have their head feathers back, and with fall fast approaching, they are preparing for winter. Hazelnuts are ready for harvest, so the jays get busy hoarding them away, but they aren't the only ones interested in hazelnuts. Squirrels are too. Somehow everyone seems to get their share. Hermoso has managed to keep his Abby, and Feisty J seems settled down with his new female. Speaking of Feisty J's new female, it's time this poor girl has gotten a name, and I want your help. Comment below some suggestions. I will pick about 4 or 5 of them to create a poll with in about a week or 2 to help name her. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Happy birding!